Welcome to the Hardest Question video blog. I'm the Reverend Russell, and this is week 32. I'm here with my brother John today.
Hello.
And we are looking at the post written by Nadia Bolz-Weber. She's a great writer, great theologian, funny, writing good Lutheran minister, I guess you'd say. She's very Lutheran, and she's in very, and very good at it. But so we're looking. She wrote about the Psalm, great post on Psalm 149, and then she wrote about the Gospel, of course, which we always do on the Hardest Question, Luke 6:20 through 31, which is the Beatitudes.
The Beatitudes, yes.
And so we're going to be talking about the Beatitudes today. We're going to look at that post and what she does with it and the questions she asks. So just, reminder, Beatitudes, right, John? You're familiar?
Blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are the pure of heart, or something like that, and then there's a list.
Yeah, right. The trustworthy, brave, courteous, kind.
Courteous,
yeah. This is from the Sermon on the, I think it's the Sermon on the Plain in Luke, not the Sermon on the Mount. This is the Beatitudes. And her point about the Beatitudes is that they're weird. She just comes out and says they're weird because blessed are those who suffer, blessed are the poor. She's like, that does not make any sense. It only makes sense because we've heard it over and over again, and we're like, oh yeah, that is good to be meek and to be, what does she say, poor, and so being miserable is good, is what Jesus is trying to say. And she comes right out and says, you know what, that doesn't seem like a blessing to me. And
it wouldn't to anybody. I mean,
no.
What's the point behind that?
Yeah, there is some point behind it that she's trying to get at. But yeah, so being wretched, being meek, being poor, being suffering is all a blessing, is what Jesus is trying to say. But obviously it does not appear to be a blessing to us. And I like that Natalie just comes right out and says that, We never even stop to think like, wait a minute, Jesus, that don't make sense. So I appreciate her doing it. But then she goes on to try and unpack it. And sorry, Nadia, but you did kind of answer your question this week instead of just asking it. But you know what? Really good answer. Basically, Nadia comes out and says, well, the only way this makes any sense is if we realize that the Beatitudes are descriptive of God. They're not prescriptive of us. That this is really the way God is. God is this, Jesus is wretched, miserable, suffers, weak. This is what our God is like. God is with us in all those places. In all those places where people are like that, God is there. And that is the blessing, that God is present with us there. And I think that's just a fantastic insight. And I think a great way to read always, when you look at a text, whether there's hard questions in it or you can't find the hard questions in it, is always to take that step back and say, what does this text look like if this is descriptive of God and not prescriptive of us? And I think that's always a good way. And that's a great hard question, Nadia. And I'm the Reverend Russell with my brother John.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.